of the kingdoms to come, they have come and to come. So the book of Daniel, like I mentioned, you need to really just sit and study it. Go through archives, go through commentaries, go through other relevant videos that have sound doctrine that are able to help you understand what is Daniel having visions about. So in this particular chapter, again, there's two creatures involved. There's a goat and there's a ram. The first creature highlighted is a ram. Apparently, he is mighty. He has two horns. The other horn grows larger towards the end. And then I'm fast tracking this. And then later on, he is met by a goat who is very fast, almost like he's walking on air, because apparently he's not touching the ground. This goat crushes the ram and then takes over. So in terms of the stuff that grows in between the goat, I think firstly, let me just check. At first, he has horns of some sort. And then, anyway, what I'm trying to say, I don't want to go full on in this, but later on in this goat's creation, or the way it's made up, a little horn arises somewhere, and it's arrogant, similar to how we read in the previous chapter. So again, this is a prophetic dream. Daniel is a bit scared when he realizes what he just dreamed. But the God of heaven, the ancient one, as described in chapter 7, who is God, sends an angel by the name of Gabriel, who is an angel who reveals certain things. So you know how Gabriel, we see him in the book of Luke or in the Gospels, where he tells Mary that she's about to have a son called Jesus Christ. So he's the angel of revelation. So he tells him the definition of the dream and what it means, and it clearly makes sense. But at the end of the day, similar to the previous chapter, the God of heaven will reign. So the events are quite scary, but need to happen for the glory of God to be revealed as in the coming years. So there's talks of number of nights, a number of days. 2,300 days is quite significant as well. If you read through it, you will get a very, very clear understanding. So because of this chapter, it's filled with a vision. It's not as like the other chapters where Daniel is very, he's seeking the Lord. The Lord grants him what he requires, wisdom and clarification. In this particular chapter, it's just a dream and the angel, and then, us knowing that God of heaven will obviously end the day. So read the book of Daniel, the whole book, not just read it, study it, and it will make very much sense to you. It also touches on a lot of other points in the Bible, especially Revelations. Whatever is mentioned in the chapter, some of it is mentioned in Revelation. Jesus even mentions Daniel in one of his teachings in the Gospels. So it's very significant that you actually read the book of Daniel. So I wanted to read a few notes that I saw on the commentary, and then I will do the declaration. So towards the end of the chapter, the commentary writer, Dr. Tony Evans, says here, the key to the vision's interpretation is that it was for the conclusion of the time of wrath, because it refers to the appointed time at the end. Thus, this is the span of time opening with the entry of times of the Gentiles and ending with the Christ's second coming. The two-horned ram represents the kings of Media and Persia, while the shaggy goat represents the king of Greece, Alexander the Great. Theirs are the second and third empires revealed in the book of Daniel. The four horns represent the four leaders, including Antiochus Epiphanes, who divided Alexander's kingdom into four. Antiochus' demonic reign is prophesied again in the chapter, and once again mirrors the coming of the Antichrist. So a lot of information. I just read a little bit of it. So maybe this will inspire you or encourage you to go read for yourself. And if you don't have a commentary, I would recommend this commentary by Dr. Tony Evans. It's quite good. But the other commentaries that written by great preachers and theologians around the world. So let's do some declarations. I declare in times of rebellion, like the armies of heaven, we restrain from responding. So during the chapter, when I was reading, the goat, as mentioned, very arrogant, was challenging the God of heaven and his army, but nobody was saying anything. So this declaration is really around that. When you go through stuff, the best thing sometimes you can ever do is just keep quiet. When somebody is talking to you in a manner that is very unprofessional or very, I don't know, just unbecoming, you ignore. I declare the Ancient One, God of Heaven, will command his angels to guide, reveal to me what I need guidance on to receive a revelation of a vision or a dream. So many times when we dream in the night, especially at night, because of our subconscious mind, our minds go somewhere and we dream. And I mentioned the other day that you have to have something next to you so you can write your vision or your dream down, because normally it's saying something and then you just need to ask the God to reveal to you what it's saying. Sometimes it's not saying anything and you still need to just ask God what it means. So dreams are there for a reason. Some dreams are crazy and you need to ask for God to give you revelation, just like Daniel's dream. I declare that angels sent by God will help me get on my feet in times of weariness. So again, in this verse 18, Daniel fell down on his face. He was petrified. He was terrified. And we will read in chapter 9 how he then starts praying for the nation of Israel to repent for the coming days. So the last declaration is, I declare that Jesus Christ will overpower the intrigue, the master of deception, arrogance in the very end, as mentioned in verse 25. So that's why personally for me, I do not like arrogance. When I see somebody come with a trait or an attitude of arrogance, whether it's being boastful or trying to seem higher than any other person in a manner that is very, okay, we hear you. You know, in the Christian community, it's so important to walk in humility, walk in servanthood, walk as if literally nobody knows who you are, just like Jesus Christ walked. Yes, obviously, there are certain places where we need to highlight our professions and what we possess, but the nature of God is humility and meekness, not weakness, meekness. Meaning thinking of yourself lowly, not think yourself low. I mean, don't think yourself as a low person, but posture yourself as somebody who is humble. Calm down. So when you see somebody possesses a nature that is arrogant, I tend to either really disengage because I don't know what to do with that, and I hopefully pray for them. I pray for them that they don't think what they possess is all that is, because it's not. Especially in this world now, everybody is showing you what they have, what they're doing. I'm doing this, I'm this, this is my position, this is what I'm acquiring. And me, look at me. Yes, when the need requires, obviously everything is circumstantial, but don't go out there bragging, being arrogant, and being rude. Sometimes people are rude. Sometimes people are just arrogant and they'll do it in a very subtle way, like you won't even see it. So look at how God responded to the goat, who is the Antichrist, part of the principalities of the dark rulers of the world, Satan himself. It's important not to respond. So I hope this declaration for today is meaning to you and you will go deeper in your reading of scriptures. And I hope you guys have an awesome day, and don't forget to subscribe, like, or share. And also let me know what's your take on chapter 10, chapter 9, chapter 10. Let me know what you guys think of the book of Daniel. Anyway, much love. Bye-bye.